Hello there, welcome to Learn English with KMD, a platform where learning English and speaking English is made much easier. I'm back with yet another fascinating and jaw-dropping video. In my today's video, I'm gonna talk about, well, your guess is absolutely wrong. I have to say this with a very heavy heart, that your guess is absolutely wrong, because I'm not gonna talk about a new idiom in my today's video. Well, I'm not gonna ask you people to take a quick recap. In my today's video, I'm going to talk about something totally different. My today's video is going to be something different from my previous videos. As far as my previous videos are concerned, none of my previous videos exceeded more than 7 minutes. Well, my today's video is going to be a bit lengthier. My today's video is going to be a bit informative, educative, apart from being lengthier. So I request every magic of you to stay connected with me and watch this video till the end. Frankly speaking, my team and I have decided to put an interim halt to the series of idioms and phrases for a couple of days, and we have decided to teach you certain rudimentary things about grammar. Yes, you heard me correct. We have decided to teach you certain basic things about grammar so that the going gets easier in days ahead. Now, coming to the point, as I articulated in my maiden video, that English language has got two sides like a 1 rupee coin: written English and spoken English. Yes, you heard me correct. I am talking about English language. English language is an international language. In English language has got two sides like a 1 rupee coin: written English and spoken English. There are differences between written English and spoken English. As far as my maiden video is concerned, remember talking about those differences in my maiden video in a nutshell, but I am going to talk about those differences in my today's video in detail. So let's get in the video without any further ado. Well, here are the differences between written English and spoken English. Let's talk about them in detail. Well, English language has got two sides like a 1 rupee coin, as I told you a little while ago: written English and spoken English. Coming to the first difference, well, the first difference is gaps. We find gaps in written English. Yes, you heard me correct. I am talking about gaps. And where do we find gaps? We find gaps in written English. Now, what about spoken English? Do we find gaps in spoken English? Well, the answer is we don't find gaps in spoken English. There is no room for gaps in spoken English because we never use any gap in spoken English. Well, when I talk about the two sides of English, written English and spoken English, one question which crops up in my mind is, are they similar? Are they identical? Are they same? Well, the answer is they're not similar, they're not identical, they're not same. Well, they're the part and parcel of the same language. They come from the same language. Though they come from the same language, though they are the part and parcel of the same language, they are as different as chalk and cheese. There's a world of difference between written English and spoken English. As you can see, we use gaps in written English, but we never use gaps in spoken English. There's no room for gaps in spoken English. I'd like to give you an example here. The example number 1, the example is, he smokes like a chimney. Yes, you heard me correct. The example is, he smokes like a chimney. Well, he smokes like a chimney. I'm talking about smoking here. Before I talk about the differences between written English track and spoken English track, I'd like to tell you something about smoking. As far as smoking is concerned, as you all know, smoking is injurious to health. It leads to lung cancer. Well, if you have the habit of smoking cigarette, you are your worst enemy. Every cigarette you smoke is a nail in your coffin. Well, it's a known fact that smoking is injurious to health, despite the fact some thousands of youngsters are falling prey to smoking, which is really heart-wrenching and alarming. You better say no to smoking, because smoking does no good to your health. It's not a healthy habit. Coming to the example now, he smokes like a chimney. Now you look at the example. The example has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 words in it. And as you can see, we have gap after he, and there's another gap after smokes, there's another gap after like, there's another gap after a. Well, we have 4 gaps here. This is how you people have been taught to write English on a piece of paper, and this is how I have been taught to write English on a piece of paper right from my childhood and right from your childhood. We people have been told, we people have been taught to use gaps after every single word, not after every single letter. I'm not talking about letters here. I'm not talking about the gaps of the letters here. I'm talking about the gaps after words. So we find gaps in written English. As far as spoken English is concerned, there's no room for gaps in spoken English. So we never use gaps in spoken English. Move on to the second difference. The second difference is, capital letters. Where do we use capital letters? We use capital letters in written English. The question is, do we use capital letters in spoken English? Well, the answer is no, we never use capital letters in spoken English. There is no room for capital letters in spoken English because we never use any of them. We never use capital letters. I'd like to give you an example to make the things more clear. Example number 2. My name is KMD Yunus. Yes, that's my name. I guess most of you are familiar with it. My name is KMD Yunus. As you can see, I started my sentence with a capital letter, that is capital M. And then we have gaps here and gaps. There's another gap with capital K, capital M, capital D, and capital Y, and rest of the letters small. If someone come up to me and ask this question, what's your name? My answer, if I say something like this, my name is with capital M, KMD Yunus, with capital K, capital M, capital D, and capital Y, and rest of the letters small. I may sound stupid. I may sound strange. I may sound hilarious. I become a laughing stock and people will definitely make fun of me because this is not how English is spoken. This is not how native speakers of English language speak English. They never use capital letters. If someone comes to me and asks this question, what's your name? My answer would be, my name is KMD Yunus. Well, I treat 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 words as one single word or hardly 2 words. What's your name? My name is KMD Yunus. My name is KMD Yunus. I never use capital letters. Hope you got the differences here. The first difference is we find gaps in written English, but we never use gaps in spoken English. Moving on to the second difference, we use capital letters in written English. We never use capital letters in spoken English. Moving on to the next difference, as you can see, punctuation marks. We use punctuation marks in written English. As far as punctuation marks are concerned, they're the heart and soul of written English. They are really very important in written English. Without punctuation marks, there is no written English, and without written English, there are no punctuation marks. But as far as spoken English is concerned, we never use punctuation marks. There is no rule for punctuation marks in spoken English because we never use them. We hardly use punctuation marks in spoken English. Let me give you one example to make things more clear. Here comes example number 3. That what is your name? It's a very simple example and a question mark here. As you can see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 words. I have used the capital letter, and we have gaps after every single word, and there's a question mark at the end, which is a punctuation mark. What is your name? If you want to ask this question to someone, how would you ask? What is your name? Question mark. And the answer is, my name is KMD Yunus, full stop. No, we never speak English like that. The question comes out as one single word, what's your name? Without using any sort of punctuation marks. What's your name? My name is KMD Yunus. I'd like to give you one more example related to punctuation marks to make things more clear. That is example number 4. Before I dive in example number 4, I gotta tell you something very important. This example is derived, is taken from, world-renowned grammar book written by Wren and Martin. So this is a verdict given by a judge and a code. This is what a judge writes on a piece of paper. This is what he writes: hang him, don't leave him. Yes, you heard me correct. This is the verdict given by a judge and a code: hang him, don't leave him. This is what he writes on a piece of paper. But before I talk about the written example, I want to make one thing clear, that the judge was in haste when he wrote this sentence on a piece of paper. The judge does the mistake of placing the comma after the wrong word. Now, I want you people to pay attention to the example written in the board and read out the sentence. The sentence goes like this: hang him, don't leave him, which means kill him, don't leave him. Finish him, don't leave him. As I said a little while ago, that this is what written by the judge on a piece of paper in haste, and he has done the mistake of placing the comma after the wrong word. Well, the comma is supposed to be placed after the third word, that is don't. Now, I want you people read out the sentence written in the board very carefully for the second time, but this time you people have to make sure that there's a comma after the third word, not after the second word. Now read out the sentence: hang him, don't leave him. Yes, you heard me correct. Hang him, don't leave him, which means don't kill him, let him go. Don't finish him, let him go. Well, one single comma can save life of a person, and one single comma can endanger life of a person. As you saw with your own eyes, the comma was after the second word him, and the meaning totally changed. Now the comma is after the third word, that is don't, and the meaning has completely changed. Hang him, don't leave him, or it is hang him, don't leave him. So we never use capital letters in spoken English, and we never use punctuation marks in spoken English. Moving on to the last and final difference, but when written English track and spoken English track, and it's one of the most important differences according to me: grammar. Yes, grammar plays an important role in written English. Grammar plays a vital role in written English. Without grammar, there is no existence of written English, and without written English, there's no existence of grammar. But as far as spoken English is concerned, grammar does not play an important role in spoken English. One can learn to speak fluent English without knowledge of grammar. Yes, you heard me right. Let me make the statement, let me run it by you again, that grammar has got nothing to do with your fluency. Yes, you heard me correct. Grammar has got nothing to do with your fluency, because grammar teaches you the basic rules and regulations about language, and fluency is what you develop, after years of experience. As it is widely said, practice makes a man perfect. The more you practice, the more perfect you become. The dexterity of your tongue improves incredibly, and that no one can stop you. Only the sky will be your limit. So these are the differences between written English and spoken English. Before I wind up today's session, once again I'd like to run the differences between written English and spoken English by you again. The first difference is, before that, English language has got two sides like a 1 rupee coin, written English and spoken English. There are differences between written English and spoken English. The first difference is we find gaps in written English, but we never use gaps in spoken English. Moving on to the second difference, capital letters. We use capital letters in written English, but we never use capital letters in spoken English. Moving on to the next difference, punctuation marks. We use punctuation marks in written English. As I said a while ago, that punctuation marks are the heart and soul of written English. But when it comes to spoken English, we never use punctuation marks. We never use any of them. Moving on to the last and final difference, that is grammar. Grammar plays an important role. Grammar plays a vital, a crucial role. But when it comes to spoken English, one can learn to speak fluent English without having knowledge of grammar. Just knowledge of basic English grammar is more than enough. Knowledge of basic English grammar will do more than enough. Well, that's all I have in today's video. Before I wind up today's video, I'd like to make a humble request to all the viewers there. Please don't forget to press the like button, share my video with your kith and kin, and don't forget to subscribe my channel by pressing the bell icon at the bottom right over there, so that you keep getting notifications right away when a new video is uploaded on my channel. Do take a very good care of yourself and step out of your house only when it's absolutely necessary. Thank you very much.